Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coliseum for tonight's game between the Lions and the Chrisman Cardinals, our local rivals just down the street from us. I'm Kevin Quigley, and alongside me is Michael McCall, and we're going to be bringing you tonight's game. Tonight's a little bit different because we've had some problems with the camera, so we're going to be doing this radio style. We will be putting the video on later, but we're unable to live stream tonight, so we apologize for that. But we will do our best to bring you the game and be your eyes and ears out here on the court tonight. So, Michael, we just watched the JV game. We just did that. Is there anything that you noticed from the Chrisman team or from the La Salette JV team that you think might play over into this game?
So for the La Salette first for JV, Elijah Hall came off. He was a little edgy. He wasn't able to control the ball a lot, which is a little fearful. I don't know if that's because the team is tired. They've had a lot of games in the past. Chrisman, I think they're going to be a team. They're going to take a lot of shots, not make a lot in the beginning, and second half they're going to start making their shots. And we really got to guard them at the perimeter because watching them warm up, they can shoot threes.
So right off the bat, Lions have the ball. Eamon takes a three, no good. Number 3, Chris Francis takes it down the court. Passes it into the corner. Francis probably the best shooter for Chrisman. And then number 14, 6'5", Nicholas Eddy puts it in for the Cardinals. For the Lions starting lineup tonight, 1 senior, Gus Blood, number 3, and then Eamon Martin, William Fitzpatrick.
Jumper, midway, no good. Charles Prather comes up with a rebound, struggling with that left-handed hook, puts it in. That's good for 2. Score 2-2. Game tied, 6 minutes, 53 seconds in the first quarter.
Chris Francis with the ball now, swings it to the corner. Number 30, Colton Razzleton down there. Number 10, Tristan Lemkel takes a shot. No good. Gus Blood and Fitzpatrick both go up for it. Gus comes away with it. Now Fitzpatrick coming down the court.
Takes a pass, 10-second line. Going to try to find someone. Eamon calling for a screen, doesn't get anything. Rylan Taw with it in the right wing, Fitzpatrick fumbles with it. Back to Rylan Taw in the corner. Gets the ball stripped from him. He'll recover with it. Crimson player on the ground. Crimson gets the steal. Chrisman Cardinals ball.
Number 10, Lemkel bringing it down the court again. Score 2-2. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Chris Francis drives in, kicks it back out. Then they try and throw it down into the paint, but Charles Prather comes up with a steal. Fitzpatrick with the ball now.
Might have been a travel there, but Lions ball. Travel on Chrisman, Fitzpatrick gets the ball over to the right wing to Rylan Taw. Into the low post to Charles Prather. Gets it to Fitzpatrick. Eamon Martin open, doesn't take it. Back to Fitzpatrick at the top of the key. Into the high post. Charles Prather sprints around, takes the jumper. That's good for Charles Prather.
Charles with 4 points right now. Score 4-2. 5:30 on the clock. Brazelton takes a deep 3, no good. Eddy, able to come away with the rebound. Brazelton tries a behind-the-back pass, but no good. Fitzpatrick comes away with the steal, taking it down the court, fumbles his dribble, but is able to pull up before anything bad happens. Gets it to Gus, down at the block. Gus drives in strong, but loses it. Ball gets tipped out by Chrisman, and it's going to stay La Salette ball.
Nice play by the Lions, and just down on the Chrisman offense, we saw them take that shot that I was talking about. They're going to take a lot of them, and they're going to start to fall in the second quarter. Gus Blood gets the ball inbounded to him, goes up strong, puts it in for 2. Score 6-2. Lions are up by 4.
Lemkel dribbling around, guarded by Fitzpatrick. Hands it off to Brazelton, who now stands. Fitzpatrick picks him up. Screen set by Mosier, but no one rolls off of it. Now Chris Francis drives in, gets into Eddy. Charles Prather plays defense, but he gets hit and backs away. No foul called, though.
That's 2 points for Chrisman. The Lions quickly get the ball up the court. Fitzpatrick with it at the top of the key. Trying to find something. Gets it over to the right wing to Eamon Martin. Eamon drives to the middle, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Gives it back to Rylan Taw. Fitzpatrick over to Eamon. Gives it to Fitzpatrick now. Lions swinging the ball across the perimeter. Dribbles, gives it to Eamon Martin at the corner. Dribbles back, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Lions going to reset their offense, going to try to find something this time. Fitzpatrick drives right, gives it to Gus Blood. Gus Blood spins around, takes the jumper, sinks that one. Gus Blood, good for 2.
from the elbow. Nice jumper from Gus. Right now, Gus and Charles each with 4 points, carrying all the scoring for the Lions. 8-4 right now. La Salette up. Brazelton fakes the shot, jumps in, throws a crazy pass out to Francis, and Francis is going to be called for the travel. Lions ball. La Salette clearly in control right now. Lions force Chrisman into a timeout, and the bench is up, and they're excited. They're pumped, and right now Chrisman not settled in yet. La Salette definitely in control.
La Salette definitely has the momentum right now. They just need to keep that momentum, keep in control, keep their good drives, getting the good possessions, scoring, being good on defense. They cannot afford to foul. They don't want to put themselves in the bonus. We've seen them have trouble with that in past games. They also need to watch the three-point shot from Chrisman. I'm personally afraid that it's going to fall. I was watching them more in warm-ups, and they were making them, so you can't be too laxed on guarding them at the perimeter.
Eamon Martin's going to inbound for La Salette under his own hoop. Lines up 8-4. Fitzpatrick up the court to Ryland. Chrisman's not picking up the defense until La Salette's across the half-court line.
Fitzpatrick gets it over to Eamon. Eamon in the at the wing, being double guarded. Gets out, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Over to Ryan and Taw. Into Gus Blood, almost intercepted, no good. Eamon Martin on the right ring. Drives, gives it back to Fitzpatrick. Over to Ryan and Taw. Ryan and Taw gets the ball tipped again, recovered by William Fitzpatrick. Lions ball.
And Fitzpatrick's going to draw the foul on Francis, who reached in. Ryland needs to be careful. That was 2 plays in a row on the same possession where he passed to Gus and almost turned it over. I'm not sure if that's on the passing end or if that's on the receiving end, but that was 2 times that we almost turned it over and got lucky both times.
William Fitzpatrick gets the ball inbounded to him, fakes his pass, holds on to it, gives it to Eamon Martin on the corner, into Ryland Taw. Ryland has the open shot, doesn't take it, gives it into Charles Prather. Charles loses the ball, over to Fitzpatrick. Now down to Gus Blood. Gus Blood gives it to Eamon at the top of the key. Eamon swings it over to William Fitzpatrick at the left wing. Charles at the high post, elbow shoots it, air ball, no good. The ball's going to go out of bounds. Gus Blood tries to recover it, but isn't able to in time.
Francis now with the ball, takes his time as he crosses half court before he passes it out to Lemcole. Eamon tips it, has possession of it now, brings it down the court. Nice move, and gets it in for the and one. Reverse layup, and count that foul too. Eamon's going to head to the line with a chance for a 3-point play.
And Eamon Martin has showed up tonight in past games. Took him a little bit to get started, a little bit to find his rhythm, but I think he's done with that tonight. He's going to go hard into the basket, score the layup, and get fouled, and he's going to miss his free throw. That's rebounded by Chrisman. Number 14, Colton Brazelton.
They get the ball down low to Mosier. He attempts to put up a shot, but he's going to get fouled.
And for Mr. Kellerman, we will be posting the game later as soon as this game ends, hopefully. We'll try to get up as soon as possible.
Eddie takes the shot far off, and that's going to land out of bounds without hitting the backboard. Eamon's going to inbound. 10-4 right now, 2.5 minutes left. As Eamon brings it up the court now.
Eamon gets it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick dribbling around, trying to find something. Gets it to Ryland in the corner, into Charles Prather, over to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin gets it to Gus Blood. Gus Blood spins around, no good. Ball flung over. Fitzpatrick recovers it, kick ball. The play's gonna stop. Ball's gonna stay with the Lions. Currently the score is 10-4. The Lions are up. 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Long pass over to Ryan and Taw. Eamon inbounds it. Eamon with it on the corner. Gets it into Charles Prather. Nice pass. Right-handed hook. Drops it in for 2. Nice play there by Charles Prather, number 22.
Prather scores over the much taller center for the Cardinals, Eddie. Now Chrisman down. Francis threatens to shoot, but they pass it directly to Gus Blood. Nice play there for the steal. Gus forced a shot on the last possession, but La Salette was able to get it.
Fitzpatrick slowly takes it past the 10-second line. Gets it to Eamon Martin on the left wing, over to the other wing to Ryland. Ryland takes a jumper, no good. Easy rebound, or no rebound for Chrisman. The ball bounces out of bounds. It's going to be Chrisman Cardinals ball.
Substitute coming in for Chrisman, number 0, Gavin McCord.
Also a substitute for the Lions, Matthew Romero, number 24. He's coming in for Rylan Ta, number 20.
Chrisman's going to inbound now. Chris Francis down the court, picked up at half court by Fitzpatrick. Moves in a little bit, passes it out to McCord on the left side of the court. Guarded by Charles Prather. Fitzpatrick comes in to block Francis, now switches to Lemcole. Lemcole drives in, sideways pass to Eddie, who gets fouled going up for the layup. He's going to go to the free throw line to shoot 2 points. Fouls on Eamon Martin.
And the Lions, their defense was sucked in there. Number 14, Brazelton, did a nice job of Euro stepping, threw the ball up. He got fouled on the shot, and he's going to sink his first free throw.
So this game, the Lions aren't having to deal with the shot clock like they had to in the St. Joe Ogden tournament, which they just finished this past weekend, and that was a big problem for them. So right now they're back to no shot clock, so they have time to run their offense, and it's worked so far, up 12-6.
Matthew Romero just came in, has the ball, gives it to William Fitzpatrick, over to Eamon Martin on the left wing. Dribbles to the center, back to Fitzpatrick. Matthew Romero with it, gets it into Gus Blood at the post. Eamon Martin wide open for the 3 in the corner, takes the shot. He will sink that one. Eamon Martin for 3. 15-6, Lions up. 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
Francis drives in, spins out, kicks it out to Lemcole. Lemcole back to Francis at the top. Eddie open down low. Romero goes down, plays some good defense, prevents his first shot from going in. However, Eddie's able to come away from the rebound and make the putback to bring the Cardinals within 7, 15-8. Salette still up. 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Fitzpatrick trying to get
fast.
one shot set up. Crazy's counting down. Eamon hears them. Fitzpatrick looks to shoot, pump fakes, gets it to Romero. Romero fakes the shot, shoots, no good. Sounded like he might have gotten hit right there, but no foul called. At the end of the first quarter, Lions up 15-8. And like we said, that's maybe only the second time that the Lions had to force a shot after it seemed like the past weekend was just all sorts of forcing shots with a shot clock. That one was because the game clock was running out, and then the only other time I think we saw it that first quarter was Gus Blood came off cut the ball at the elbow, spun, and probably shouldn't have shot, but he did. That didn't result in a turnover because Eamon and Fitzpatrick were able to grab it, but Salette needs to remember that they're up right now, they're in control, and they get to choose their own shots. They're not getting forced into making any shot choices that they don't have to.
Yeah, the Lions have been playing well tonight. First quarter, 15-8. They came out with a lot of momentum. Eamon Martin's been a star right now. So is Charles Prather and Gus Blood. Been able to get some rebounds. The Lions have been strong on defense, holding the Cardinals to 8 points. And all we need to see from the Lions right now is to see what we've been seeing throughout the first quarter. They need to keep their momentum, keep their focus, and just play the basketball they've been playing tonight.
It's going to be Chrisman ball coming out of the quarter break. Number 10, Lemcole, will inbound. Number 30, Colton Brazelton, has come back into the game. He loses control of it for a little bit, but the Lions don't pick it up. It wasn't very far away from him. Back over to Lemcole, guarded by Charles Prather. He gets the pass away to Francis, who now tries to drive in, sees Eddie, but Gus and Charles bottle that up before anything happens. So
nice defense there from Eamon Martin. Did not foul, but had his presence known on the court.
Fitzpatrick comes away with the steal. What an athletic play by Fitzpatrick. He had to leap up to pull it down and then was falling out of bounds, and he threw a bounce pass into Eamon. A lot of the time people throw bounce passes in like that. They end up just creating another turnover.
Ball on the other side of the court. Eamon Martin with it. Gives it to Gus Blood on the corner. Out to Fitzpatrick. Matthew Romero now with it. Swings it to Eamon Martin. Takes another 3, and he's going to miss that one. Rebounds. No ones. Ball's going to be kicked out of bounds by Charles Prather. It's going to be Chrisman Cardinals' ball.
On that last possession, there was a great pass by Gus Blood. He was looking right across the court, but then passed it up to the top of the key. And what I noticed from the JV game was the Lions were doing not very good job at disguising where they were passing to, but right there, Gus executed that great. Chrisman didn't know where he was going to pass to. Francis with the ball now, guarded by Martin. Chrisman swings it around to Lemkel, who's open now. Gets it down low to Eddie. Romero, nice defense. Forces Eddie to put up a shot. No.
Set their offense. Eamon Martin with it. Gives it nice pass into Charles Prather. Left-handed hook. Bounces off the back of the rim. No good. Cardinals rebounds.
Brazelton taking it down the court. Gets it to Francis. He's over in the right corner again. He really likes hanging out over there and driving in or trying to take shots. Lions double team him. And they're going to get nowhere. The Chrisman's going to get nowhere with that. And Chrisman coach calls a timeout.
And there have been no points scored in the first quarter. Second quarter. There's been about a minute or almost 2 minutes now. The Lions have been playing strong defense, had a couple good looks. Charles Prather had a nice left-handed hook, though. It went off the back of the rim, was not good.
Nicholas Eddy right now is he has some tape on his right hand that he is getting retaped on. So I'm not sure if he's probably dealing with an injury. That's something they take into account as his brace comes off.
Both teams are going to come out of the timeout. It's going to be Chrisman Cardinals ball. Score 15-8. 6 minutes and 13 seconds left in the second quarter.
Lemkel with the ball in the quarter, guarded by Romero. Romero's been playing good defense this game, especially against bigger players. Fitzpatrick now against Brazelton. Gus Blood pokes the pass away, intended for Eddie, and that shoots right out of bounds. No one gets to that quick enough.
And pokes is a little bit of an understatement. Gus, with all the force of his arm, smacks the ball out of midair. Great play by him there.
Charles Prather picks up defense outside the arc on Lemkel. Brazelton now. Back to Lemkel. Lemkel tries to drive in, nothing going. Francis in the corner, looks to drive in, kicks it back out. And then Fitzpatrick ends up coming away with a steal. He and Eamon both reach for it. Fitzpatrick ends up coming away with it.
And he's going to cross the 10-second line, tightly guarded, breaks the defense, picks up his dribble, gives the ball to a Charles Prather in the corner. And Gus Blood with it at the high post, over to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin holds on to it, gives it to Eamon, swings it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick for three, no good. Gus Blood gets the rebounds.
And it's going to touch the support above the backboard, so play stops after that missed shot. Right now the Lions doing a great job disrupting the Chrisman offense. The three guards for Chrisman are all passing it around, and before they're able to get it into the big man, Salette tips it away or steals it most of the time, so great job there. Score is still 15-8. 5 minutes left in the first half. In the corner to McCord. Romero tips it away. McCord trapped, not quite sure what to do with it. And he loses the ball out of bounds. Romero tips out of his hands, going to stay Cardinals ball.
Good defense there by the Lions. Putting the Cardinals on their toes, being in their face on defense. Great play there, no fouls.
Shot by Chrisman, rebounded by Matthew Romero. He got almost landed on by the Chrisman player, but he was able to hold on and get it out to Eamon.
Eamon now gives it to Fitzpatrick. Matthew Romero, top of the key, gives it back to Eamon. Charles Prather on the right corner has it, looks for Matthew, gives it to him. Bounce pass over to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick over to Eamon Martin. Fitzpatrick now back with it. Gives it to Matthew Romero on the right side of the court, into the high post. Gus Blood spins around, takes the shot, no good, hard off the backboard. 14 for Chrisman. Nick Eddy comes up with the rebound.
Brazelton takes it down the court quickly. Throws up a desperation spin move shot, but gets that to fall. That's the first points scored in the second quarter, and we're already halfway done with it. Score 15-10 Lions now. It's a really fast-paced game being played out there.
Matthew Romero gives it to Eamon Martin on the left, on the right wing. Swings it over to Fitzpatrick. Back to Eamon Martin. Charles Prather has it, gives it to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin in the post, gives it to Matthew Romero. Drives out, Fitzpatrick open, doesn't take it. Eamon, left jumper, sinks that one. Eamon Martin for another 2-point shot, bringing the score 17-10. Lions up by 7 with 3 minutes, 53 seconds left in the first half.
Chris Francis takes the shot, no good, rebounded by Lemkel. He jumps up and makes that shot to bring the Cardinals back within 5. Lions up 17-12.
Fitzpatrick being picked up by Cardinals defense, gets past 10-second line, swings it over to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin back to Fitzpatrick. Matthew Romero on the right side of the court has it, gives it into Gus Blood into the post. Back out to Fitzpatrick, over to the corner at Eamon for the thinks about the three, doesn't take it. And Eamon's going to draw the foul from number 3, Chris Francis.
That's Francis's second foul this far. He's the best shooter on the Chrisman team, so the more fouls he racks up, the better. Eamon's going to inbound from the left side of the court now.
And coming into the game for the Lions, number 5, Mr. Blaise Loronia, coming in for Charles Prather. He's sitting at the post. Eamon Martin inbounding the ball, gets it into William Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick breaks his defender, gets a screen from Gus, gives it to Eamon Martin at the corner, thinks about the 3, tripped up, recovers it, and he's going to travel for spinning over. It's going to be Cardinals ball.
Eamon fell on the ground there and turned over, and there's no other call except the travel. That was definitely the right call. But the only other substitution besides Blaise that we had seen so far was Matthew Romero. He's done a great job. He's struggled with turnovers a little bit in the past couple games, but hasn't turned it over at all this game. Great job from him. Hopefully we'll see the same from Blaise coming for Charles. Eddie with the ball now outside the arc. The Chrisman offense a little bit messed up. Lem Cole takes the shot from 3, no good. McCord comes away with it. Now Brazelton out to Lemcole. Eddie down low and spins around Blaise to put the layup in.
Lions up 17-14. The Lions are up. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half. Eamon gets it to Matthew. Matthew gets it into Blaise Loronia. Blaise trying to find something. Gives it back to Matthew Romero. Matthew drives to the free throw line. Doesn't take it. Over to Eamon Martin. He's going to take another jumper, and he's going to make that, bringing the score 19-14. Lions are up. 2 minutes, 18 seconds left in the first half.
Eamon narrowly avoids stealing that ball. He was so close to it. Now Francis drives in. All the Lions converge on him, and one of them fouls him. That's going to be a block on Gus. Francis going to inbound now for Chrisman. Subs coming in. Charles coming back in for Blaise. Or actually, no, he's coming in for Gus. Blaise is going to stay out there. Romero guarding the ball, getting inbounded. Francis taking a little bit of time, not seeing anyone. Ball's tipped by Matthew on the inbounds, and Fitz is going to turn over. However, he doesn't see Francis coming up behind him, who steals it. And then is going to take it down the court. And both referees called a foul, and they both looked at each other. I think one of them was thinking charge, and the other one was thinking block, and the one that thought block signaled first. So it's going to be a block on Fitzpatrick.
Good, almost a good play there by Fitzpatrick. Set his feet, must have been a little bit too late. Tried to draw the foul after his mistake, but that results in number 3, Chris Francis, going to the free throw line. Misses his first one. He's going to take a second one. Score 19-14, Lions are up.
Second free throw from Francis, no good as well. Blaise with the rebound. Eamon bringing it down the court. Now 2 minutes left. Lions up 19-14.
Takes past that 10-second line, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick back to Romero. Minute 52. Matthew holding it, looking for something. Gives it to Fitzpatrick on the right side of the court. Back over to Matthew Romero. Still outside the perimeter. Drives past the perimeter. Timeout call by Coach Spezia for the Lions. Going to talk it over, see what they can do.
Lions offense stalling a little bit. If it wasn't for Eamon's 2 jumpers, they haven't scored at all this quarter.
Blaise Loronia with a nice rebound back on that play after the missed free throw. Good play by him.
So score 19-14, less than 2 minutes left in the first half. Chrisman's been trying to claw back, but the Lions have been holding them off pretty well. The Lions offense isn't moving quite as well as it was earlier in the game. That's probably because Chrisman's figured out a thing or two, but Eamon's still getting open shots, and he's knocking them down.
That's good to see from Eamon, because I did say earlier in the game, Eamon has found it takes Eamon a little bit of time to start get in his rhythm, but in this game he found it quickly and was able to put a lot of points up on the board early in this game, so that's good to see from our shooting guard, number 11, Eamon Martin.
Speaking of Eamon, he's going to inbound coming out of that timeout since Coach Spazio was the one that called it. Lions at the top of the key setting up their play.
Inbounds it into Charles Prather. Charles Prather holding it outside the perimeter. Gives it to Eamon Martin in the corner. Fumbles it, recovers it. Gets past one of his defenders, stripped by Francis. Goes the other way, puts it in for two. That's good. Score 16-19. Lions are up. Minute 25 left in the first half.
Romero with the ball now at the wing. Gets it to Prather in the corner. Prather looking for someone down low, doesn't see anyone. Does see Eamon, who cuts in. Eamon passes cross court to Romero. Fakes the three. Tries to get into Blaze, but passes low at his feet, and Blaze isn't able to get down in time.
Rylan Ta is going to come into the game for Matthew Romero. Matthew has had a good night so far, good defense. It's going to be Lions ball. Eamon Martin inbounding it underneath the basketball hoop. Finds Fitzpatrick open for the three. He takes it, and that one's going to bounce, nearly going in, but it's not going to fall.
Brazelton taking it down the court quickly. Fitzpatrick does well not to foul him. Brazelton drives all the way down, throws up a wild layup. Blaze comes away with the rebound.
Nice rebound there by Blaze Larunya, being hassled by all the other Cardinal players, but he keeps control of it. Nice job by Blaze Larunya. Fitzpatrick gets it past 10-second line, almost poked out by Brazelton. Over to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin with it, trying to find something. Finds Blaze Larunya at the right corner. Ball's almost tipped out from under him, but recovers it. Charles Prather gets the ball, and that's going to go out of bounds, going the other way.
Ball tipped out of bounds hard. That was a really hard pass, and unable to secure it for the Lions.
Lions just need to slow down right now on offense.
Chrisman has pulled to within three. Salette can't give up the lead going into the second half. Eamon guarding Francis right now. Ryland as well, who came into the game for Matthew, traps him in the corner. Now Eddie tries to drive in. Number 4, Mosier, does put up a layup, and that's no good. Charles with the rebound. 9 seconds left.
7 seconds. Eamon takes past 10-second line. He has 3 seconds. He's going to have to take the shot, and he's going to get called for the charge. And that really stinks, not only because they're not going to be able to put up a shot, but because that's just going to put a foul on Eamon. I believe his first. Excuse me, his second. But the Lions, excuse me, I said they need to slow down on offense. They don't need to slow down. They just need to keep control of the ball.
And the inbound from Chrisman doesn't go anywhere. So Salette's going to go into halftime. Not quite the finish they were looking for, but still better than giving up the lead. So at halftime, the score 19-16. We'll take a break for halftime, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Please stay watching and come back for the second half of the game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of La Salette's varsity basketball game, where La Salette's taking on the Chrisman Cardinals. I'm Michael McCall, and Kevin Quigley is next to me. We do apologize for the slight inconvenience of there being no video recording. We're currently updating our system right now, figuring things out, so it's just a voice recording currently. Right now, the score is 19-16. The Lions are in the lead. They've been in the lead throughout this entire game. And to bring into game, Eamon Martin's going to start by inbounding the pass into William Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick takes it up the court. Takes it slowly, gives it to Ryan Ta. He's back into the game. Swings it over to Eamon Martin on the right. Back over to Fitzpatrick. To Ryan Ta. Gives it over to Fitzpatrick now. Eamon Martin now with it. Back to Fitzpatrick. The ball circling the perimeter a lot. Ryan finally penetrates, dribbles, forces a shot, no good. Rebound, Chrisman.
That's Tristan Lemcole, who brings it down the court. Gets it out to Colton Brazelton, number 30, who now drives in. That looked like that might have been more than 2 steps, but referees say no is all right, and that's going to be a foul on Gus. So Brazelton's going to get to go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
And the Lions haven't had a problem with fouls this game. However, it is only a 3-point lead, so they cannot afford giving the Chrisman Cardinals free opportunity to shoot. Number 14, Nicholas Eddy, he made both his free throws earlier. And number 30, Brazelton's going to sink his first one.
His second one is no good. Eamon Martin with the rebound. Lions up 19-17 now.
Fitzpatrick going to bring it up, taking it slow, unlike the first half where it was a very fast-paced game. Eamon Martin with it now on the right wing. Drives, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick drives to the right, gives it to Eamon Martin. Swings all the way over to Ronan. Ronan gets a quick pass into Gus Blood. Spins around, takes the shot, no good.
Rebounded by Chris Francis, who now brings it down the court. Picked up by Fitzpatrick. Francis picks up his dribble, doesn't see anyone to pass to, so shoots. His shot no good, but rebounded by Mosier. Fitzpatrick saves the ball from going out of bounds and throws it back in.
And Gus Blood coming flying out of nowhere, showing his speed off, runs in, picks up the ball. However, I think he stepped out of bounds, or at least his head touched the out-of-bounds line, so the ball is going to stay with the Cardinals.
Lemcole with the ball now at the top of the key. Passes back over to Brazelton. Chrisman moving slowly. Now Lemcole gets it started, tries to pass in, but his pass too far away from Mosier. Lions ball now after they get the ball.
And the Lions had to get a stop there from the Cardinals. They could not let them score. They got to do something here. Eamon takes it past the 10-second line. Over to Fitzpatrick, holding it at the top of the key, outside the perimeter. Gives it to Eamon Martin. Gives it back to Fitzpatrick. Over to Ryan Ta. Ryan gives it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick drives, gives it over to Ryan. Ryan's going to take the jumper, and that one's going to roll wall. It's going to be Cardinals ball. Did they call a jump ball there, I think?
Yeah, so the Cardinals player jumped on the ground, and then Eamon went in to put his hands on the ball, and so then no choice but to call a jump ball. Francis with the ball now at the wing. Drives down. Defense picked up by Ryland. Francis drives baseline again, and then jumps out of bounds, and so has to throw it in off of Gus to keep possession with his team. Now Francis is going to inbound. That's twice that he's driven baseline, and it hasn't worked either way, either time. Nicholas Eddy takes a jumper from the side of the paint. No good. Rebounded by Charles.
Eamon Martin takes it past the 10-second line, gives it over to Ryan, almost picked off, gives it into Charles Prather in the low post, first time touching the ball in the second half. His shot will be blocked, and the ball is going to stay with the Lions.
Eamon to inbound.
He's going to look for someone. Gets it into
Off
Charles
the back
Prather.
of Nicholas Eddy. Smart play by Eamon. He turned his back, so he just bounced it right in off him. Gus Blood now with it in the corner. Passes across the court to Ryland.
Over to Eamon Martin. Eamon drives, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Gus Blood with it. Gives it to Ryland. Ryland gets it into Charles Prather at the high post. Over to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick holds on to it, gives it to Ryland. Takes the jumper. And that's no good. Charles Prather comes up with the rebound, spins around, throws it up, and he's going to draw a foul from number 14, Nicholas Eddy. Beautiful play there by Charles Prather. Also, another nice play there by Ryan and Ta. Caught the ball, was inside the perimeter, took the shot. It wasn't good. And that resulted in Charles Prather with the rebound and a nice attempt at a 2.
Charles's first shot is up and good. Lions up 20-17. Ryland's had a lot of open shots this quarter, and he's gone ahead and taken them. However, he hasn't gotten any of them to fall, but sooner or later that's going to start happening.
Score 20-17, 4 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third quarter. Charles will sink his second free throw, bringing the score 21-17.
Nicholas Eddy with the ball now. Drives in, puts up a layup. That's good.
That one's barely going to fall in, kind of rolls off the rim. Eamon Martin gets it, and he's going to take it past the 10-second line, acting as point guard. Bounce pass over to William Fitzpatrick. Pump fakes in, dribbles, trying to find someone, gets it into Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin has it, top of the perimeter, drives out, gives it to Ryan Ta. Ryan Ta on the left wing, gives it back to Eamon Martin. The Lions offense slowing down a little bit. Eamon drives right. Trying to find something, gives it to Ryan Ta, and he's going to draw the foul from Francis. That's his third foul. Eamon's going to keep the ball and inbound it. Ref gives it to Eamon. Eamon going to try to find something. Gives it to Fitzpatrick at the other half of the court. Fitzpatrick takes it past the 10-second line. Gets a screen from Gus, pulls off from it. Gives it to Eamon Martin on the left wing. Back to Fitzpatrick. Over to Rylan Ta. Rylan gets a nice pass into Gus Blood. Over to the other side of the court. Eamon Martin takes the 3, and he's going to sink that one. Bringing the score 24-19. 3:45 in the third quarter.
Eamon at 12 points right now. He has half the points for the Lions. Lemko brings it down the court, gets it to Francis, swings it to the corner to Brazelton, and those 3 guards are doing a lot for the Cardinals right now. Brazelton's shot, no good. And then Charles goes up for the rebound, and he's going to force Nicholas Eddy to be called for going over the back. Charles had a great play to secure that rebound, especially with the bigger player reaching in over him.
And just a quick shout out from my personal point of view, Nick Eddy, he has a good sportsmanship, even though after he's had 2 calls not going his way, still keeping his temper, so that's always nice to see. Ryan Ta keeps control of it, gives it to Eamon Martin. Fitzpatrick trying to call something out. Eamon gets the ball stripped from him.
Brazelton strips that ball, goes down the court. His layup no good. Eamon goes up for the rebound while he's in the air, gets pulled down by Francis. That's Francis's 4th foul. He's unhappy with it, even though he literally pulled Eamon out of the air. 1 more foul, and Francis is going to be out of the game.
Eamon hits the floor hard, but gets up quickly.
Now, number 0, Gavin McCord, comes in the game for Francis.
Chrisman Cardinals a little aggravated right now. Haven't scored at all, but Eamon Martin's going to get the ball, gets it inbounded. Charles Prather gives it to Eamon Martin, who's taking it past the 10-second line, back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick trying to make space for himself. Trying to get Brazelton off of him. Brazelton should have been a foul there, nothing called. Eamon Martin gets it. Cardinals trying to press the Lions, trying to force a turnover. The Lions aren't budging. Gets it to Ryan Ta, wide open for the left jumper. Takes it. That's good for Ryan Ta. The Lions shot sinking left and right. Score 26-19, 2:40 left in the third quarter.
Brazelton shoots from deep and sinks a 3. Ryland inbounds it now to Fitzpatrick.
4-point game. Ryan gets it up to Eamon Martin. Lions need to score here to keep their lead significant. Ryland gets it, gives it to Eamon Martin. He can shoot, and he will. Long time there. That one's not going to fall. Nicholas Eddy gets the rebounds.
Brazelton takes a deep 3, no good. Lions took way too long to rebound that, and then when Fitzpatrick finally comes in from the backcourt, when he gets the ball, he trips and falls. It's going to be a travel. Cardinals ball again.
Score 26-22, 2:04 left in the third quarter.
McCord takes the 3 for Chrisman, no good. Mosier almost rebounds it, but it slips out of his grasp, and Charles Prather grabs it.
Fitzpatrick's going to pass it up to Eamon Martin. The Lions need to score here. Gets it to Ryan Ta. Ryan has Charles open, doesn't give it to him. Now he does. Charles swings it over to Fitzpatrick to the other side of the court. Into Gus Blood. Gus spinning around. Gives it back to Fitzpatrick. Nice pass there by Gus. Over to Ryan. Now down to the post. Charles Prather spins. Beautiful spin there by Charles Prather. Gets Nicholas Eddy off his feet and lays it in for two. Fancy footwork from our big man down to the post, Charles Prather. Ryan's going to come up with the steal. Eamon Martin recovers it. Lions taken away, 28-22. Fitzpatrick takes it past the 10-second line. Easily gets past his defender. Gives it to Eamon Martin. Charles Prather with it in the corner. Gives it to Gus Blood. Gus is going to take a jumper. That one is going to fall. Dustin Blood with a beautiful jumper. At the elbow. Lays it in for two. And Charles Prather might have just had the play of the game. Beautiful fancy footwork. Gets Nicholas Eddy off his feet, lays it in for two. Nice play there by Charles Prather.
Right, and then followed up by just as nice of a play by Gus. He was also being guarded by Eddy, and we were right in the line of basket, Gus, and then where we're sitting, so we could see Eddy's hand just came flying in to try and swat it, and Gus was able to get the shot away in time, and it bounced around for like an agonizing amount of time before it finally fell through. And just like the Lions were up 30-22 with a minute left in the third quarter.
The Lions do not have an incredible lead. They're up by 8, but they definitely have the momentum here. They got to keep it. They got to keep coming down strong on defense, getting a couple more steals, and then keep playing their good offense that they're playing. They're not playing too slow, not playing too fast, moving the ball around, finding themselves open, and taking the shots that they get. Eamon Martin, a significant player for the Lions right now.
He's got 12 points. Followed closely behind by Charles Prather with 10, so right now they're doing most of the scoring. Gus Blood has tacked on 6 as well. So those 3 players right now, none of whom have more than 2 fouls, are all doing a lot of the scoring for the Lions, and also they're being really vocal out there. Also, you can't forget Fitzpatrick, who hasn't scored this game, but has done a great job taking the ball up the court, and he's been guarded a lot by Brazelton, who's a great defender, and he's done a good job to not get the ball taken away from him very much. Charles Prather comes with the rebound off of McCord's missed shot.
Fitzpatrick now with it, gives it to Charles Prather in the corner. He gets it in Gus Blood. Gus Blood being guarded by number 10, Tristan. Gus goes up for the shot, and he's fouled, and he's going to be going to the free throw line for 2.
Score 30-22. 37 seconds left in the third quarter. Chrisman coach not happy about that call, but regardless, the call stands, and Gus makes his first free throw.
Lining up to take a second shot. Takes a dribble, shoots it, and that one is good. Gus making both his free throws. The score 32-22. Lions up by 10, 34 seconds of the third quarter.
Brazelton with the ball now at the wing. Fitz jumps, disrupts Brazelton's pass a little bit, but McCord comes away with it anyway. Number 34, Rogan Maloney, has come into the game. He had the ball for a little bit, but dishes it off. Now he cuts to the other side of the court, is open, but Brazelton doesn't see him and is moving around. He's going to draw the foul from Fitzpatrick, but that foul was just while he was driving at about the free throw line, so Chrisman will take it from out of bounds.
Lions strong defense, not letting any holes open in their defense.
Cross-court pass to number 30, Brazelton. Clock winding down. Chrisman going to attempt to get a shot off. Eddy does that. 4 seconds left. Eamon's going to throw it from down the court. He gets it off in time, but that's too hard. It was lined up right, but it was too hard, so no good. However, Lions still up by 8 points, 32-24.
And the Lions did exactly what we wanted to see from them coming out of the second half. They came out strong with the momentum, were able to put up points. They kept their offense and defense under control with the right pace and speed. And throughout this game, the Lions have just controlled the tempo of this game.
Absolutely, and it has been a very high-tempo game. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more subs having to come in from the Lions. The starters doing a very good job of not tiring out there. Lions, as usual, a very well-conditioned team.
The score 32-24, just coming into the fourth quarter for all those just tuning in to listen. Again, we do apologize for the camera error. We'll put the game up later, hopefully tonight or tomorrow. And then you can watch the game. So
right now, the buzzer has sounded once. Team still in the timeouts. Chrisman comes out of theirs, and now Salette comes out. Eamon Martin's going to inbound the ball for the Lions from half court to begin the final quarter of play. He gets it to Fitzpatrick about 3/4 of the way down the court. Fitzpatrick tries to pull up and stop his dribble, but moves his feet too much and gets called for a travel.
Their Lions are going to have to do something on defense. They might have just lost the momentum. They cannot let the Cardinals take some of that momentum and take it their way.
Brazelton trying to dribble and get Fitzpatrick off his balance, but he loses his own balance, but maintains possession. Number 10, Lemkel, goes up for a layup, comes down hard. His layup far off. He lost control of it. Eamon Martin with the rebound. Now Fitzpatrick taking up the court, guarded by Brazelton. Like I said, Brazelton a tough defender.
Eamon Martin with it, trying to lose his defender. Gets Fitzpatrick open. Charles Prather now with it on the left corner. Looking for something. Finds Gus Blood at the high post on the elbow. Spins around. Gus keeps it. Gives it to Ryan Taw. Over to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick down to, or over to Eamon Martin. Eamon drives. Had Chuck open. Doesn't give it to him. Fitzpatrick swings it over to Ryan Taw. Ryan Taw gives it to Charles Prather. Charles Prather at the elbow. Gets the ball tipped from him. Recovered by number 0 for the Cardinals.
Gavin McCord. He passes it over to Brazelton, who takes up the court again. Passes out to Lemkel. Chris Francis has been out of the game for a while, carrying 4 fouls. Charles Prather comes away with the rebound, but runs into Gus and loses it. However, Fitzpatrick jumps on the ground to secure it.
And Gus Blood grabs the ball, gives it to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin dribbling past the court, and there's a timeout called
by Coach Spezia. Lions offense staling out a little bit.
The Lions got to keep the momentum, and if they're not able to score, they need to make sure that they do not let the Cardinals score anything, and especially a three-point shot. We did say earlier in the game we're afraid that the Cardinals, they're going to take a lot of shots, which they have, and then later in the game they're going to start making those shots. And so the Lions have done a good job guarding the perimeter, blocking off shots and not letting anything fall.
So the Lions in the St. Joe Ogden tournament that they played last week, all the teams that they faced ran a zone defense. And Chrisman's in a man defense right now, so I think that's one of the reasons why the Salette offense has been able to do more, is because they're able to move the ball quicker than they were, just because the players are coming out to the arc as opposed to staying inside like they were last weekend.
And now coming in the game is Matthew Romero. He came in for William Fitzpatrick. Charles Prather loses control of the ball. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by, I believe, Eamon Martin, and it's going to be Cardinals' ball. Slight blunder there by the Lions offense. Hopefully they can recover on defense.
Matthew Romero's come into the game for Fitzpatrick. He's tasked with the difficult job of guarding Brazelton, but he's done well so far. Lemkel takes a deep 3, no good again. Eddie with the rebound. His putback is good over the hands of Gus and Charles.
Nice play there by Charles and Gus not to foul Nicholas Eddy. Eamon easily drives past the offense, goes in there. He's going to miss his layup, falls on the ground. Nicholas Eddy comes up with the rebound. Nice play there by Eamon Martin. He's just not able to come up with the points.
Ball into the corner for Chrisman, but then swung back halfway around the arc to Lemkel. Brazelton takes an extremely deep 3, no good. Brazelton was about halfway in between the logo and the top of the key, but all the way out to the side.
Eamon Martin gets it past 10-second line, gives it to Matthew Romero on the right side of the court. Charles Prather, jumper with 4 in his face, no good. Gus Blood comes up with the rebound, goes up for 2, and
he gets Lemkel to foul him. Lemkel brought his arm all the way down on Gus's end. Gus is the much bigger player, so it was Lemkel who ended up falling on the ground even though he created the foul. Gus is going to get to go shoot 2. The last time he got fouled, he made both his free throws. He's sitting at 8 points right now as the Lions are up 32-26. His first free throw is good. 5.5 minutes left in the game. Chris Francis is checking into the game to come in after the next stoppage. Gus's second free throw is good as well. So Gus Blood, 4 for 4 on free throws. He's at 10 points. So's Charles, aiming at 12. So those 3 players have scored all but 2 points in this game. The other 2 coming from Ryland.
And Fitzpatrick, a player who's hasn't scored, but he's been a very big presence and a very strong part of the Lions' defense and offense.
Block called there on Matthew Romero. Blocking foul, giving the ball back to the Cardinals under their own hoop.
The score is 34-26, 5 minutes, 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Cardinals ball.
Francis inbounds it, gets it back from Brazelton. Passes to Lemkel, who gives it back to him. Francis tempted to take the 3, but doesn't. Now Lemkel drives in, kicks it out to McCord, who gets it all the way back out of the arc to Eddie.
Nice defense there by Eamon Martin. Couldn't really do anything. Didn't want to foul Nicholas Eddie. Nicholas Eddie takes it up, puts it in for 2, bringing the score 28-34. Lions are still in the lead.
5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Eamon Martin, he's going to drive in, and he's going to be fouled by number 10, I believe, Tristan Lemkel. Eamon Martin, he's going to be visiting the free throw line for the Lions are now in the bonus.
Eamon's first free throw bounces off the front of the rim, no good. Lions also sitting at 6 fouls, so one more foul and they'll give the bonus to Chrisman, and that's exactly what happened as Matthew Romero pushes number 30 Brazelton.
Nice play there by Gus. He was there, but Matthew just had the push in the back. Nicholas Eddie with it at the far outside the perimeter.
Brazelton shoots another deep 3, no good. Gus with the rebound, and Brazelton comes in to try and get the rebound, and he hits Gus. Gus once again stands tall, unflinching as he gets fouled, and he's going to go back to the free throw line to shoot. If the Cardinals could pick anybody to not foul, it'd be Gus, and they just fouled him.
Yeah, Gus has been knocking down his free throws tonight, and Gus has just been a powerhouse, just showing his strength out there, not budging when he's getting bumped around. I'm sure he's getting elbowed out there. You know, it's just part of the game, and he's just standing strong, not flinching, holding the ball firm, and just a great player tonight.
Gus's first free throw is good. His second free throw rolls out, so after he makes 5, he finally misses 1. I don't think there's much to complain about there. Gus, 11 points now, moves into second for scoring for the Lions. Chris Francis comes down the court and makes the short jumper, 35-30 with 4 minutes left in the game.
Eamon Martin now with it top of the perimeter, trying to find something. Gus standing there at the elbow, finds Ryland. Ryland has it. Gives it back to, or gives it to Matthew Romero. Matthew Romero throws it a little bit too hard off the hands of Eamon Martin. That's a turnover for the Lions. Ball going other way.
And right there, Romero's defender overplayed him, and he left an opening, but I think Romero had already committed to the pass to Eamon, even though Eamon wasn't in that good of a position, and he forced the pass a little bit, and it ends up going out of bounds. Francis for 3 now, no good. Prather and Romero both go up for the rebound, along with a Chrisman player. It gets tipped out by Salette. And Chrisman's ball under the hoop.
The Lions could not let the Chrisman Cardinals score there. 35-30, 3 minutes, 52 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Cardinals ball.
Lemkel fakes the shot, no good. Doesn't take it, I should say. Francis drives in now, tries to pass it to Eddie. Eddie unable to grab it with one hand. Looks like he got bumped in the back of his head. He was holding it, but he's staying in. Aiming to inbound now. Gets that to Charles as Ryland was covered by McCord. Lines up 35-30, 3.5 minutes left.
Eamon trying to find something. Matthew Romero now with it in the corner, drives up. Might have been a foul there, nothing called. The pass too hard, Francis comes up with it.
Francis taking it down the court now. The Lions can draw a charge on him. That'll put him out of the game. Brazelton, another deep three. No good again. Eamon with the rebound.
It's 2-on-1.
And a nice reverse right-handed layup and the finish over Chrisman. Eamon Martin, 4-2. Lions up 37-30. Lemkel takes the three and knocks it down. Score is 37-33. Chrisman coach calls a timeout. La Salette bench really pumped up, trying to motivate the players after Lemkel made that three.
And now William Fitzpatrick's going to be coming into the game, I believe, for Matthew Romero. Matthew Romero played strong in the first quarter and second quarter. He played strong in the third quarter, but kind of lingered on the fourth quarter, had a couple turnovers. So Fitzpatrick's going to replace him out there on the court. Lions got to stay strong right now. That's a big three from the Cardinals. It's keeping them in the game. Lions need to score on this possession here. 37-33, 5-point game. 2-minute, 54 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Lions in the bonus right now, and ever since they've gotten in there, Chrisman has been relatively careful not to foul. La Salette comes out of the timeout. Chrisman's still in, about to break it down.
It's going to be Lions ball. Eamon Martin inbounding it on the other side of the court. And the Cardinals are going to bring a press. Lions going to have to break this press. They had to break PBL's press on Saturday. The ball
hits the backside of the backboard because Eamon was on the left side of it, and the only open player was Round, who came through on the right side, and to get it over.
And that ball must have been tipped by a Cardinals player because the ball's staying with the Lions. Eamon Martin still inbounding it. Finds Charles Prather in the corner. Nice play there by Charles Prather. Fitzpatrick grabs the ball. Pass might have been a little bit too hard, but he recovers it. Gets past his defender, picks up his dribble, gets it to Charles Prather, past the 10-second line. Over to Ryan Taw, other end of the court. Nice pass. Gus Blood. Gus Blood goes up strong. Right-handed layup on the left side of the hoop. That's good for two. 39-33. Lions still up.
Great pass by Ryland. Even better finish from Gus. Three-point attempt from Lemkel, no good. Gus almost gets the rebound, but doesn't. It bounces right off him. Nicholas Eddy comes up with it and passes it away. And there's going to be a foul called on the floor, which is fortunate because Eddy's shot did fall. That foul's on Ryland, number 20. And right now, with Chrisman continuing to run the press, that's where Fitzpatrick is most valuable, as he's a slightly better dribbler than Romero, so he's much better at breaking the press as the point guard. Ball comes into Eddy. No good on his free throw his layup attempt again, but he gets fouled again.
That's two straight fouls in a row by the Lions, taking Nicholas Eddy to the free throw line. And that's just letting the Cardinals slow down, take a breather, not have to worry about the time. And Nicholas Eddy's shot, his first one's going to be good.
That pulls Chrisman within 5. Eddy's second shot up. No good. Eddy does come away with the rebound, takes the jumper. That rolls out. Eamon tips it. Charles gets his hands on it as well. Brazelton takes a three. La Salette doesn't come away with it, but Eddy tips it out of bounds. And Eamon's going to inbound it. Referee makes sure that he's not standing under the backboard.
Eamon Martin.
The referee's going to issue a warning to Chrisman. Number 4, John Mosier, stepped across the plane of the out-of-bounds line. So Eamon's going to get a second chance to rebound, which was good because nothing was happening the first time. Lions take a little bit to start the press break, but get it going. Eamon with the ball now in the middle, dribbling through all 4 Chrisman players. Charles guarded by Eddy.
The Lions just need to hold the ball now. Eamon Martin with it at the top of the key. A minute 52 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Fitzpatrick with it, gets it to high post to Charles Prather. Over to Ryan Taw. Ryan over to Fitzpatrick. The Lions taking it slow like they should be. Gives it to Eamon Martin. Clock ticking, minute 40 seconds left. Eamon drives, gives it to Fitzpatrick. Ball almost tipped out, Lions recover it. Back to Eamon Martin. Eamon holding it on the right wing, over to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick gives it to Charles Prather. And Coach Spezia is going to call a timeout for the Lions. They just need to get the ball inbounded, and they're in the bonus, so if the Chrisman Cardinals decide to foul, the Lions will be going to the free throw line. So the Lions just have to play smart here, keep control of the ball.
.127 left in the game. Same players staying out for the Lions, no substitutions. This game has been very much ruled by Eamon, Gus, and Charles. Charles with 10 points, Eamon with 14, and then Gus with 13.
Right now the score 39-34. A minute and 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lions ball. Lions are in the lead. Eamon Martin inbounding it. Finds Charles Prather in the post. The ball tipped out from him. He recovers it. Fitzpatrick now with it. Ryan takes the jumper. That's no good. He gets his own rebounds. Had Charles Prather open, doesn't give it to him. Eamon Martin, top of the key. Trying to make some space. Drives in, pulls back out, gives it to, he holds onto the ball, gives it to Fitzpatrick now.
A little over a minute left in the game.
Ryan trying to find something, drives, almost loses it. The ball tipped. Francis comes up with it.
Drives down the side, tiptoes along the line, and then Charles gets his finger in one. That's Chrisman's 9th foul.
39-34, 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Lions have this game secured if they just control the ball, play smart defense, and don't make any blunders.
Eamon's first free throw is up and good. 15 points for him. Lions up 40-34 by 6 points.
If Eamon makes this shot, it's a it's a 3-possession game.
His second shot is up and good. 41-34. Lemkel takes a deep three, no good. That goes out of bounds before anyone can grab it. Ryland saw it and let it go.
31 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lions ball. Eamon Martin inbounding it. Cardinals bringing a press. 5-second count has started. Eamon gets the ball into Ryland. Wide open. Him and Charles. It's a 2-on-2. Ryland pulls back out. Smart play. Holds the ball. Gives it to Eamon Martin. Eamon Martin spins around. Continues to hold it. And Eamon's going to be fouled by number 10, Tristan Lenkel. Again, visiting the free throw line to shoot 1 and 1. Is it 2
He's
now?
gonna shoot 2 now, right? That's the 10th foul from Chrisman. Right now, they're just giving Eamon an opportunity to attack on 2. They want to get the ball back, but Eamon's first free throw up and good.
Eamon coming up to take his second free throw. After his first is made, he sinks his second one. 43-34, 9-point game.
Clock winding down. Fitzpatrick picks off the pass from Nicholas Eddy. 15 seconds left. Eamon taking his time, dribbling it up the court. Passes the 10-second line. Chrisman isn't going to foul him, so now Fitzpatrick holds it, passes it back to Eamon. He gives it to Ryland, and he holds it as the clock runs down. And that is the end of the game. La Salette walks away with the win, 43-34 over the neighborhood rival, the Chrisman Cardinals.
And La Salette's second non-tournament game they've won, so they're 2-2 for non-tournament games. The Lions, their next game is going to be Friday, December 9th versus Olympia. JV game at 5:30, varsity game at 7. Please tune in to watch that game. The video camera should be up for that. But until then, thank you for tuning in and listening to us. This is Michael McCall and Kevin Quigley, your broadcasters. Thank you very much.